Want to start a tab?
Coming right up. I need another bottle over here. Thanks.
Yeah, like I was saying, cereal. 1920s, we're hitting a shift here. Early cereals were intentionally bland. John Harvey Kellogg believed spicy or sweet foods stimulated immoral behavior. But his brother Will saw what customers actually wanted. So in the
sugar.
Didn't we already talk about this?
No, we were talking about the Battle Creek Wars. All these little cereal companies popping up and fighting for the top billing.
Yeah, but what you're talking about sounds very familiar.
And there was like echoes there. But by the 20s, sugar coatings increased sales dramatically, and sweetness improved repeat purchases. And kids were actually influencing grocery decisions. So this culminated in 1939 when Kellogg Company introduced Ranger Joe Popped Wheat Honeys, one of the first pre-sweetened cereals. So from there, the floodgates opened, and lots more of these pre-sweetened sugar cereals would be hitting the shelves. So breakfast really was no longer about digestive therapy. It was about affordable daily indulgence.
All righty. Well, welcome, everybody. Our special guest, you, the listener, here with us today.
Hello.
To experience the very first movie from DreamWorks. Animated.
Yes, we here on the Bakerboys are covering Antz.
This was an
movie,
interesting movie.
Was it? Was it interesting? How
I'd say it
interesting
was.
was it?
Kept my interest. That may not mean too much, but I mean, it's definitely different from some of the other movies we've seen.
I don't know. I mean, I saw echoes of this movie in the B movie. Which, to be fair, the B movie came out in the 2000s, and this came out in 1998.
I guess in terms of what Nick's saying is we have to consider the movies
What we've
that
seen
we've
up to
just
this point.
reviewed up to this point.
But then again, we've been watching Don Bluth movies, and almost all those were 2D animated.
Yeah.
So this is the first fully CGI film we've seen. Anastasia had more of those moments, but this one definitely was all CGI.
And I can tell you, Thumbelina was better than this movie.
Well, now you're spoiling your end there. You're spoiling the end there.
I don't particularly care with this movie. I don't understand how it had such a high tomato meter rating.
Yeah, it was pretty well received for being a animated comedy adventure movie. Developed by DreamWorks Animation, directed by Eric Darnell and Tim Johnson. I would be curious as to how many of DreamWorks movies have two directors, because Prince of Egypt had three directors.
Well, now who's spoiling our next movie that we're going to watch after this one?
Yeah, because we definitely didn't watch that one before this one.
Why would
Definitely.
we? We're doing this thing in order. Come on. So, yes, the movie title is Antz, but if you try searching it up using the voice search, you can't do that because it's ANTZ.
Yeah, I
Antz.
can't really pick up on that Z at the end of Antz.
Yeah. So, let's see here. The setting of the movie is a massive totalitarian ant colony located beneath Central Park in New York City. You don't find that out till the very end of the movie.
Yeah, it's kind of implied at the start.
Maybe
And maybe on the movie poster you see it.
definitely in the movie poster because
you
it's
see
right
the
there.
grass with the city in the background.
So we're
Yeah.
getting up to the poster. So continuing the setting, the story unfolds over 4 days, spanning the underground tunnels of the colony, a battleground in a termite-infested tree, and a fabled oasis called Insectopia. So to the poster artwork, you get this mound of dirt, grass, and then the cityscape of New York, which this includes the Empire State Building on the left and the Twin Towers on the right.
I always have to point that out because you never know when people are going to start phasing that out.
You
Yeah.
never know.
Digital editing.
Bam, it's gone. Which is weird how they just remove that stuff from movies and in the movie shoots
Well,
and
you know,
stuff
we
like
can't
that. It's like,
offend all the poor people who watch and just can't stand seeing two historic buildings that were once toppled so many years ago.
Yes, it might trigger someone.
I thought the poster artwork was kind of interesting.
It's interesting, but I think it suggests there's going to be more story in the city.
it does.
At the very least, that you would see the city.
It feels more like I pictured
I
B
at
movie
one point
where
thought Insectopia was just straight up going to be in New York. Didn't realize it was just going to be some trash
8
hump.
feet away.
Yeah.
8 feet
Bit of
away
a
is like
spoiler
4
there, don't you think,
days in
Chris?
ant terms. But it does. It makes you feel like they're going to the city, not like on an adventure. Like I pictured like they're going on an adventure. You know, like Lord of the Rings, like this one ant is going into the city and he's going to do something like the B and B movie. It's like it makes me feel like it's going to be the B movie. It's one ant who's going to just have this like bizarre experience and journey.
Yeah, it could be like
into the
Homer's
city.
Odyssey or something.
It's not at all like that. I think the poster is deceiving to the audience, the viewer. So then going from the poster artwork, we've got the trailer talk.
Which was your typical 90s trailer with the audio in the background. Right.
Yeah. From what I was gathering, from what I watched, I don't know if you saw it. It was the same.
I
It had the
completely forgot
narrator.
to watch it because we started watching the trailer for it, but I'll bet you that was supposed to be the trailer for like the DVD release.
It was really hard to tell because when I started one trailer, it looked like it was just starting up this, like just the straight movie, and I had to stop because I was like, this isn't making any sense. And I wasn't even sure if it was like the right stuff. And I mean, it probably was. So then it popped up a different trailer that had the basic 90s narrative functions to it, where it's like, this ant, he's going to go on an adventure. No, he's not.
Yes, the epic trailer voice for all
Yeah.
trailers.
So Google overview states that tomato meter is 92%. Popcorn meter is 52%. IMDb is 6.5 out of 10 just for the ratings of this movie. I didn't get any like critics reviews or anything like that. So this movie is rated PG despite the cuss words they sneak in there.
Yeah, those were real spit takes with a few of them.
Yep.
It was crazy. Like we did have to rewind and go.
I had to
Did they
make
just
sure
say
we
that?
knew what he said.
They did.
Yeah, rewind it. What were they muttering there? I think they said something else.
I mean, we can't say what they said, but they throw in the B word, being, and then like B, comma, ing.
Yeah, and then there's another moment. It's like, I think they might have said a different word, like Ralphie.
I was trying to look up the transcript for it, and I could not see whether or not they actually dropped the F-bomb.
Pretty sure they said what Ralphie said.
I was thinking that too. I'm like, well, if they're going to drop the B word and then the other word for a donkey, they might as well just drop in the F word too. I mean, why not?
I mean, Shrek could get away with it, but they only got away with it once.
But this brings me to the alternate version that they had, which is in 2008. Cartoon
Is it a
Network
different
started
version?
broadcasting. Well, it's an alternate version that
It's
Cartoon
an
Network.
altered version.
They just edited out that. Shut up. They edited out the explicit language completely, despite
Well, that
airing
makes it
it.
less fun.
They aired it virtually uncut in 2004.
Yeah, those 4 years, they make a difference.
Yeah,
Kids
and this
in
movie came out
2008
in
can't take it.
1998, so they had I don't know how many years from then to when they switched it and edited out the cuss words. So then our death tally for the movie was in the hundreds of thousands. Battle between the ants and the termites.
Yeah, that was a rough one.
Anybody have a movie summary for this?
A movie summary.
Nick,
I mean,
I think it's your turn.
did you not basically?
Go on ahead.
I gave the setting for the movie, which is
Right.
from Google,
Of
so you have to give your
course, of
own movie
course.
summary because
Let's see
I
how you do.
didn't.
So this movie follows this idealistic ant who eventually kidnaps the princess, leaves the colony, goes to Insectopia. Princess gets captured by someone else. He goes back, fights the colony, gets the princess back, and they return to Insectopia.
Wow, this feels like a whole nother movie.
It really does because they didn't actually go back to Insectopia at the end.
Yeah, you're missing a few points, like the fact that our main protagonist Z doesn't really fit in with the other ants because he doesn't want to fit in with the other ants, but the other ants want him to, and then he runs into the princess, who he did have a bit of connection with, but ends up having to bug out of there because now everyone's starting to get mad at him. So it's the ants who are trying to track him down. And then you got this military general dude who wants to, he's got a bit of a plan, but they don't go into it too much. You just know that he's very unkosher, as it were. And eventually it culminates to the general's plan being to kill off all of the worker ants, leaving only the soldier ants. And now we got Z and the princess who have to thwart said plan.
Correction.
Essentially what I said.
Almost.
You were suggesting just a random person, not even an ant that captured the princess.
Yeah, but I have to correct your statement on the general and wanting to just get rid of all the work. He was eliminating the entire colony and only leaving a select few. And when I mean few, I mean maybe like 1,000 inside of like the entire colony, because he sent off a majority of the soldiers purposefully to
Look, what
attack the
clearly
termites,
happened is that
but-
this general was preparing for a hopper. He heard the coming of the grasshoppers and was all like, we can't be weak.
probably.
We won't be pushed around.
Natural selection.
Yeah, so the general gets rid of a majority of the soldier ants, and then he's getting rid of all the worker ants to prepare for a new colony.
Yeah, which has to get thwarted by the princess and Z, who's more of a reluctant hero. But that's the summary. Took us 3 tries, but we got it.
And I'm not going to give a summary for this movie. I did not like this movie. Let's go into production before we go into my question.
I do have a few more notes on the movie, so long as we've reached the end of the summary. The opening shots did remind me a lot of B-movie because they dive into the colony and you're getting a bunch of shots of the colony, which is like a whole little city that's been built up. So very much like B-movie.
Yeah.
And you get all these signs encouraging work because, ants, they got to work.
Yeah.
Rest once, work twice, stuff like that.
I thought it was kind of funny how Z, like the movie starts off with him in therapy.
Yeah, and you get a lot of that cynical humor with Z coming down. It's like, I just feel insignificant. And then his therapist is all like, correct.
You
Well
are
done.
insignificant.
Well
We've
done.
had a breakthrough.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there are some good humor moments, and I'm sure that comes
Yeah.
from a lot of Woody Allen going in there and working on the writing to help stretch it a bit more. I think it's a good story, just it's in an ugly package.
Very ugly.
Because there's some scenes that really do look good, and then other scenes that look like the generic Windows screensaver, just that green hill with the blue sky, and it's like, this just looks awful. I do admire that they didn't spell out General Mandible's plan. There are several moments where it felt like, oh, he's going to start monologuing, and he doesn't. The characters, they have to discover the plan for themselves. So I appreciated that.
It was something nice,
And
different from what you've seen
Yeah.
countless times before.
we're not going to see that ever again. Every movie we see after this is just going to be, they're going to explain their plan. So that was a one-off. We're not going to see it again.
Yeah. So now what? Production. Keep talking.
Well, Nick, you didn't have anything to add to that, did you?
Into the microphone he
to
would.
the
Anything
like the
I
general
said about
story?
just the general story? Because we've heard Michael's comments.
I hate this movie.
there are
Not as
the story itself is good. The animation does kind of leave some what to be desired. But I mean, like, there are those moments we've mentioned before, Chris, just on our own, like with the human movements, well, specifically the feet, because you don't see humans.
Yeah, you
It
see
really
that
just gets
magnifying
the-
glass, and then you see the fly swatter, and you see the shoes and legs, and you never actually see human, which I think is a good thing, because I think it adds to just the humans being outside the story, and then it furthers. Well, I don't think they have character models down yet, because none of the ants look good.
they looked so bad.
It's like cardboard with like eye holes cut in.
We'll get into that when we talk about the animation.
Yeah, so
But
we
I want to
can-
hear about the production,
Well, we can-
numbers,
we-
budget.
We can talk about the actors. Nick, you got those right. Because Z is voiced by Woody Allen, who actually joined the movie as a favor for Katzenberg. He had his breakout in a movie in 1969.
Okay, but you say a favor for Katzenberg. Remind me who's that?
Katzenberg is one of the producers of DreamWorks.
Oh, okay.
So he's like one of the top, CEO types.
Gotcha.
But he did a movie called Take the Money and Run in 1969. He actually had full control as writer, director, and star in that film.
Okay.
Got anything else for Woody Allen?
I mean, he's really just mostly known for his romantic comedies.
Do we know him in anything?
Not really.
Seriously,
I-
his name also feels big, like Burt Reynolds. But
I know, because watching The Office, you get that line where Michael Scott's talking about ants and Bug's Life, and he's like, Woody Allen, you gotta stick to your guns or whatever. And even Michael Scott admits he liked Bug's Life better. All right, so then the next character was Princess Bala, voiced by Sharon Stone. It was originally going to be voiced by Sarah Jessica Parker. Like, she actually voiced lines for it, and she was in Hocus Pocus.
Oh, which one was she in Hocus Pocus?
I don't know. I wasn't able to find that specific detail.
I missed that. She's in
What was-
Hocus Pocus?
No, Sarah Jessica Parker.
Oh, my bad.
Sharon Stone had her breakout role in a movie called Basic Instinct in 1992. It showed she could actually be a leading lady. Yeah, anything else for Sharon Stone?
She was in Sphere.
Ugh, that movie.
Yep.
Who did she play in Sphere?
Beth, the female doctor.
Gotcha. Maybe.
So
I think I
then
know who you're talking about.
Weaver was voiced by Sylvester Stallone. He got his breakout role in Rocky, 1976. And watching him in this movie, I couldn't help but remember when he was in Oscar, 1991. And afterwards, he said he was going to be more selective about his roles. I don't think he does well as Weaver. I would have much preferred Patrick Warburton. Kronk.
Yes.
That voice would have been perfect.
That would have been a lot better than Sylvester Stallone. And I wish I knew what his thoughts were on this movie.
Yeah, you can't find
'Cause-
any interviews for it.
He did like
Just-
Oscar. Why is he in this movie?
Something about like in 1991 to 1998. He was like, yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah. All right. Next.
So, General Mandible was voiced by Gene Hackman.
Well, hold on. I guess what was Sylvester Stallone's breakout role?
Rocky in 1976.
Okay. 'Cause I don't know if we mentioned that in Oscar. We know him from Oscar and obviously Rocky.
Yeah, the other
and
Rocky
a lot
movies.
of other movies.
Every
too.
Rocky movie.
How many are there now?
Expendables.
5.
Rambo.
He's also in those Apollo movies. But yeah, Rambo and the Expendables. So
Yeah.
very action oriented. So then another character, General Mandible, voiced by Gene Hackman.
General Mandible?
Yep, he's the
His Handable.
no mandible,
Oh.
as in like the mandibles of a bug.
Yeah.
Those giant teeth
gotcha.
things.
And he's the villain of the movie.
Yeah, he got his breakout role in a movie called Bonnie and Clyde, 1967.
And he played as
Lex Luthor.
In
in
the,
the old original.
yeah,
were they like the
Christopher
Yeah,
Reeve's Superman.
1978.
1978 Superman movies?
So then Colonel Cutter, General Mandible's right-hand man, that's voiced by Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
He got his breakout role in The Deer Hunter, 1978. And you'd said they'd actually expanded Christopher Walken's role in this movie.
Yeah, so I had a bit where Christopher Walken's voice work was so excellent that Cutter's role was expanded. He was originally a faceless lackey to General Mandible, but Walken brought some unexpected depth to the character.
So I liked his character in the movie.
I did too. Probably one of my favorite characters in the movie. That might have just been because it was voiced by Christopher Walken. Otherwise, it might have just been another faceless lackey. And Nick, what do you have on Christopher Walken?
He's in Catch Me If You Can, 2002. He plays Frank Abagnale Sr. He's in Click, plays Morty.
Yeah, I remember him in Click.
I think that's where we first saw him, and I don't
I
remember
feel
from
like that
anything
would've been
else.
it, yeah. He's in Man on Fire, plays Rayburn.
He's in the Saturday Night Live skit with the cowbell.
Yeah, with Will Ferrell.
I need more cowbell. Can't do Christopher Walken expression very well.
He plays Captain Coons in Pulp Fiction.
It's been a while since I watched that movie.
I remember watching it, but I could not remember his role in the movie. I'm like, he was in that?
Yeah.
Huh. I don't remember him.
Do we have any others?
He plays the gangster.
No, not for Christopher Walken. Next actor.
For actors, there was another one, Barbatus, who is kind of like Z's
Gets a
soldier buddy he meets in the army.
short.
Yeah, very short role.
That should have been Sylvester Stallone's role.
Yeah.
But instead, it was voiced by Danny Glover. He got his breakout role in Places in the Heart, 1984.
Yeah. And it's crazy. I'm pretty sure he also plays in Prince of Egypt.
Yeah. He
That
plays
would
Jethro.
surprise me. I mean,
Our next movie that we're going to do.
yeah, if he
Actually plays a singing role in that one, if you believe it or not.
so he gets about as many lines in that movie as in this.
I think so.
No, I think he gets a little more in that one. He's doing
Yeah.
a full-blown song in that movie.
Yeah, but he lasts for about as long.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like 5 minutes there, 5 minutes here.
I don't know if we know Danny Glover from anything else.
He's in the
Others
Lethal
would
Weapon
know.
series. He plays Lieutenant Mike in Predator 2. He plays George Knox in Angels in the Outfield.
Yeah.
I know I've seen that one, but I don't remember it. So that about does it for the actors.
Yeah.
The story of the movie aligns with Katzenberg's interest in more mature, character-driven animated stories, which I think you can get with the themes of this movie being individualism versus conformity, struggles with class structure and personal identity. There was a bit of a Pixar rivalry. I'm sure we've all heard of this, but Katzenberg got wind of Pixar's Bug's Life and moved Ant's release date a month ahead of Bug's Life.
Yeah, he really pushed the production of this film.
So Bug's Life and Antz came out in the same year?
Yeah, it was like October, Antz, November, Bug's Life, December, Prince of Egypt.
I would say that's a pretty good lineup, but I mean, out of all three of those, I'm betting Prince of Egypt kind of knocked the other two out of the park
Yeah, we'll have to see.
in terms of budget.
budget.
Well,
I
I guess
know.
not budget, just global box office.
Box office is different.
Yeah.
So
Ratings, I don't know because people are psychotic and decide to rate Antz at 92% on the tomato meter. I can't trust that thing.
I don't know about the ratings if people were watching it and they said, so this is what an animated movie can be? And maybe they just took that because, I mean, up until that point, you have had a bunch of Disney movies.
Yeah.
Antz kind of leads into more of the, it's that cynical humor that I think people probably clicked with more compared to what they were getting as alternatives. But the animation for this movie was produced using Pacific Data Images. They also had to develop tools for mass crowd simulation and facial animation that could match celebrity voice performances. They had a lot of ants on screen. I mean, there was hardly a scene inside the colony that wasn't just packed with ants. And I don't know if that's impressive because, yeah, you compare like the hand-drawn animations Bluth was going through with Anastasia, the ballroom scenes with all these people dancing, and then you compare that with ants, with all these ants. Like, sure, there's probably dozens more ants than people, but CGI, I don't know how much simpler that makes it. But then again, DreamWorks had to create their CGI pipeline. The Toy Story would have been the first CGI film made by Pixar that created their pipeline. So DreamWorks had to make their own pipeline, which was pretty expensive. So the animators used motion reference and video capture, but it wasn't full motion capture. That full motion capture would come later. They did face a challenge with the animation. Unlike the toys in Toy Story, ants required flexible, organic movement. Also, they had to work with complex interactions in large groups. So again, bringing in those huge crowds. The filmmaker
synchronizing the massive group movements was one of their challenges. Is what I found.
I believe it. That weird bar scene where they all decide to dance, but it's like strange line dancing. It was an awkward moment.
It was awkward, but I think it fits with the whole motif they were going for with
conformity.
colony.
Everyone's got to dance the same. So the filmmakers intentionally avoided the cute designs. The ants have angular, more realistic anatomy, and facial features were exaggerated just enough to allow emotional expressions.
They were aiming for a grittier, less cartoonish feel.
Yeah, and I don't know if maybe they got some examples of some of the art that was being used for Bug's Life, because Katzenberg got his info through a former colleague with Disney, so I don't know if his colleague was also leaking him art. It's like, here's what the Bug's Life are going to look like.
It's a big conspiracy.
And then Katzenberg's all like,
Katzenberg had an inside man.
Yeah, they can't look like this. So Z was actually designed to resemble Woody Allen's persona, that nervous posture and expressive gestures.
I kind of think that's a lie because how can you design an ant outside of what the ant looks like in Antz? There's no facial
the
expressions
freedom
happening.
of animation gives.
Those ants looked horrible.
I don't know. Some of the ants look more confident, and the Woody Allen ant you could definitely pick out and be like, among the worker ants, that one's the Woody Allen ant.
And you know what I wanted to do to all those ants?
You just wanted to swat them,
Yep.
crush them, spray them with the anti-ant killer.
Indeed.
So the dialogue was recorded with actors interacting or improvising, especially with Woody Allen and Stallone. It's probably where you got that cuss line in there, and they're like, leave it in there. So it resulted in naturalistic and overlapping dialogue, like in a real live action performance. The screenplay emphasized existential humor and political allegory, which I think you got that pretty well. When the worker ants start chanting Z after he leaves, like it was like, wow, this suddenly became a Marxist movie. The workers are gonna rise up and fight back against General Mandible.
Yep.
And then Mandible manages to turn the whole situation around. Suddenly the workers are cheering him on. So it's like, that worked out pretty well.
Who would have thought?
But yeah, that tone just lends itself to older audiences with the themes of militarism, totalitarianism. So yeah, the animators did face a lot of crunch time with the rush production. That flood scene was completed only in months before release.
Huh. And that actually wasn't too bad of a scene.
No, it really wasn't. It was done fairly well for CGI. Another flood scene would appear like 2 months later.
Yeah.
So, but it did serve as a cornerstone film for DreamWorks Animation.
So
Nick,
then
did
what?
you have any other comments about the animation side?
No.
All right, then that brings us to the budget.
Yay.
So the budget for Antz was $60 million, which in today's money would be $112 million. The box office for Antz was $171 million worldwide, and that inflates to $320 million today. So we can actually compare that with A Bug's Life, which released in November. Their budget was $120 million, and their box office was $363 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big number.
So one of these movies did a lot better.
Wait, so that was Bug's Life?
Yeah, Bug's Life.
Bugs
They had
Life
double
was
the
one who
budget,
did better.
and they still came out with the box office. So
Bugs Life was the one who did better amongst those three in that year.
yeah.
Prince of Egypt, Antz, and Bugs Life.
So then just going into the theatrical release, it released October the 2nd, 1998. So Rush Hour was in there. That had released in September the 18th. It was #1 at the box office when Antz opened. Urban Legend came out in September the 25th. That was like teen horror. Pleasantville in October 23rd. That was more fantasy drama. Holy Man was a comedy with Eddie Murphy. Saving Private Ryan, released in July, still a major draw in October. Of course, that was another DreamWorks film, so that wasn't too bad for them.
Huh.
Another movie, There's Something About Mary, one of the year's biggest comedies. Blade came out. That was popular action superhero film. And then Ever After, which was a romantic drama. So within the release window of Antz, it really didn't have any competition. There were no other family movies really there. It was just November when Bug's Life came out. That was just it for Antz. Just game over.
It was done for. All right. So is that all that you've got?
That is it for Antz.
Okay. Now what I've got, they had one song that they played.
Yeah, one pop song, and they
Okay,
kind
I
of have
wasn't
a
even
song
thinking
in the
about
bar.
the pop song.
Oh yeah,
I
they
don't
also
even know
sing
about the song in the bar.
Okay, the bar was more like a tango kind of song, so there was no
So,
lyrics.
Overall,
And then they had the ants go marching. They
yeah,
sing
that one was
all
probably
the way to the termites.
I enjoyed that scene
that
because
was
I
funny.
thought that
just
was
for
funny.
the satire of it's like,
Yes.
the ants go marching.
Yeah.
And then they decide to have a pop song when they actually reach Insectopia.
Yeah, and that just didn't really care for that. So who do you guys think should watch this movie? I had no idea.
Uh,
Because I would recommend anybody watch Bug's Life over this one.
Yeah, it's a hard sell to be like, well,
And we're
Bug's
not- I mean,
Life.
We haven't even mentioned the other ant movie, Ant Bully.
Ant Bully, which I think the design they had for their ants was better than Bug's Life and
Who made Ant
Ants.
Bully?
I can't remember.
Oh,
I don't.
man.
I don't think it's not a DreamWorks. It's not Disney. It's like one of those one-off studios. But I think the design for those ants were better than either of these two movies. But I think
I do agree with you there because those ones actually looked more significantly different compared to like each other in the movie. Like you could definitely tell one apart from the other. This, like in Ants, it was kind of difficult to tell the difference between
like you
one
had the
and
worker
another.
ant
It's like,
and then
okay,
the soldier
you've got,
ant, and that was it.
yeah. I mean, you kind of have a difference in the head, but it felt
Slight.
so slight and so like such an insignificant difference between the like one ant to another compared to Ant Bully, where it's like, I mean, you can really see just on the cover, like one ant is way different from another, facial wise, head wise. But
Yeah, it's hard to really recommend this movie because, I mean, little kids can probably look past the visuals, but I don't think they'll get into the story or really grasp it that much. And then older people, I don't know if they'll be able to get past the visuals to really appreciate the story.
Ant Bully was distributed by Warner Bros.
Ouch.
Production companies were Legendary Pictures, Playtone, and DNA Productions. That was Ant Bully. Ant Bully got rated tomato meter. Rotten Tomatoes was 61%. Yeah, but we're not talking about Ant
Nope.
Bully. Just temporarily. So, where were we?
Who would watch this movie?
Yeah, I don't know because I would send everybody to Bug's Life over this movie. Who should avoid this movie?
I mean, if you're a really, really big fan of Bug's Life and absolutely hate anything that kind of, sort of, maybe copies the Bug story, then
not
this
that we're
movie is
all
not for
trying to
you.
point out anyone in particular here.
Of course we're not. We're not pointing out our audience, are we?
I don't know what Nick's talking about.
Did the plot make sense?
yeah, I think the plot makes just fine.
It's kind of on it.
To be engaged by the plot and for the plot to make sense is not the same thing.
Yeah, they're two different
okay.
things.
Pacing notes. What do you guys think of the pacing of the movie? Because I thought it was too slow.
I want to say
I'm thinking because I think the one point where the pacing really killed me was when they reach Antopia and then they decide to have the song.
it
The pop
does
song.
kind of feel like it kills the pacing.
That really killed the pacing because it's like, all right, they're there. And
I
you
think
can
that's
cut
probably
out.
what did it
they're
for
just
me.
experiencing Insectopia for a hot minute until
Yeah,
you
it's
cut back to the
experiencing
colony.
Insectopia and seeing the blooming romance between Z and the princess. And it's like, we can skip over this. They've kind of already had that relationship
You know
build
what's
up.
funny? At the end of the movie, those two don't get married. You
No.
don't see that happen.
No, it's funny because the movie begins with
It's
them
not
working
ever
in the colony and it
officially-
ends with them working in the colony. So it's hard to
That's
say what
crazy.
the difference is.
So what'd you think about the ending?
I really did have to remember what the ending was because you do have the big confrontation. They're able to save the ants. They stand up to General Mandible.
See, I kind of put that as part of the ending, and I only do that because that's probably the only part I cared about. Like, I thought it was kind of a decent ending, but then I kind of
Well,
blank
it's like
on
the
actual-
climax.
Well,
and
we
then
started
hit the
walking
epilogue.
out after the epilogue where Woody Allen starts talking about, and this is the end, and here's how I'm feeling about it, and glad we all made it here in one piece. And you see, it zooms out, so you see the ant hill, and then you're seeing some of the stuff around
That's
it, like
how it is.
the
yeah.
termite wood that they went to, and then the trash can that was Insectopia, and then they keep on zooming out. It's like, wow, this story was really, really small. Like, I think that's part of like the theming of these ants are so small. What was such a big story to them is so insignificant, which is kind of how the movie begins with Z saying how he's insignificant. And
So what do you think this movie was trying to tell people? Are we all really that insignificant?
No. That's Men in Black, where at the very end they pan out from our world to our galaxy to marbles.
Yep.
And this
Just a
giant
game of
alien.
marbles.
And they could have just kept spanning outward. Be like, oh, well, these aliens are actually on their planet, which is actually
That would have taken
insignificant
too
in their
much
galaxy, which is
animation.
in
They
the-
put too much into
yeah, they're
the
below their budget there.
cockroach and the
Yeah.
alien at the beginning.
So I was like iffy on the ending. I was okay with it, kind of, but I also didn't really care.
I don't know.
Actually, I cared more that it was ending.
It wasn't a sappy ending, so I guess I can appreciate that.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I think
thinking.
Bug's life gets to be a little sappy.
Happy Avenger.
I don't know. We won't get to Bug's Life till we hit Pixar, apparently.
That's going to be a long way out.
Yep. So what'd you guys think about the humor hitting 0 to 5?
Bugs Life is Pixar, not Disney?
That's what I
find
know.
the
You just said that.
humor can land, and it lands pretty good. It's like, all right, that's pretty clever. And then sometimes it's like, I can tell you're trying to be funny right here, but
But
I'm
it's just
super
not
caught with it.
hitting.
They do have good moments, where Z and Sylvester Stallone are talking about trading places, and Sylvester Stallone's all like, "Look, even talking about this is gonna get you killed. Even listening about this is gonna get you killed." And like
Everybody
else who was
ends, and then they
dropped,
just
yeah.
go back to sleep.
it's like
Yeah,
that was a good
like-
moment.
I put the humor hitting at 3. I thought it was decent, but I mean, overall, it's not going to get above like 3.5
No, probably
for
not.
me. So, what number would you guys give it?
Number?
What kind of scale are you?
I said
referring
0 to 5.
0 to 5. Okay, yeah. I mean,
That's why I put it mid
I did it.
3.
3 is 3.5. I think there were at least like a
3
few
or 4.
laugh out loud moments, but I think like the really loud laugh out loud moments might have been when I thought they were cursing.
Yeah.
It's like those were.
We had to go
What?
back and double check. We're like, oh, okay. So what'd you guys think about the score music overall of the movie?
Yeah, I think sometimes they really needed some kind of score playing and they didn't have anything playing, so it was just a silent moment.
There were a lot of times I couldn't tell, and a lot of times I felt like the score, the music going just did not fit.
Yeah, kind of
Like
generic.
obviously you can't do anything else for the ants go marching. Like that fit perfect in that scene and just elevated that scene. And then I felt like everything else was kind of bland. And then they brought in a pop song, and it's like that's worse.
Really tanking it here.
Yeah. So that was my thoughts. Your guys' thoughts on it?
It's pretty much the same. It's like the overscore kind of matches some of the visuals with it just being bland and passable at times. Nothing that's like, wow, this is really matching and selling the emotional beats here.
I agree.
Okay. What was the animation style?
I mean, it was CGI, so more 3D animation.
Yeah.
Okay. And the look and feel of the CGI.
Again, some scenes are passable, but there was never like the initial shots they had of the colony. Some of those look pretty okay, but then some scenes just look so bland. You're not even looking at it anymore. You don't want to look at it anymore. You want it to move on to the next scene. I think the only time the shoddy animation really worked for them was with the termites.
Yep. The battle with
Those
the
monsters
termites.
just looked horrible, and the ugly animation just adds to their just nastiness.
Yep.
Yeah. So what you guys think about the movement quality? Was it smooth, stiff, intentionally stylized?
Nothing really stands out until you get the moments where they're on the surface and
There's so much bland, empty space on the surface. I think their movements stand out more than in the dark, dingy
what
colony.
I thought a
the
lot of
thing
it
I'm
just
thinking of is
stiff.
just with the leg
Definitely stiff.
movements.
The
of
leg movements
human.
don't work because they have 2 sets of legs that are walking exactly like the Bugs Life characters, which is why I think the Ants and Ant Bully are better because their bodies are shaped more like the ants.
Yeah, perhaps
so
their best animated scene was when they were on the human's feet, and you see those.
that was like some
movements.
slow motion scenes with them swinging from the shoelaces as the legs are running awkwardly.
Yeah.
I thought it was an interesting scene.
I didn't like it because I was focused on how the person was walking, and
They
the way
did
they
have
were
a
walking
weird
was
movement
so
where you're like, what are they
wrong.
doing? They just
Why are
ran,
they walking?
stopped, and then
like that. It's like one foot, the right foot swaying all the way out, and I mean the I don't know, like
We're
the
really
pacing of
only
it was just
seeing the
weird.
most bottom half of it, so they could have probably just been walking normal. It was just
There's
no, they
nobody
weren't
walks
walking
like
normal
that.
because they would move the right foot and then they'd move the left
And then
foot
they move their left foot
exactly up to the right foot.
to the left foot. Nobody does that when they're walking. You put the right foot forward, and then the left foot goes way past the right
Yeah, it's
foot.
gotta
I think
go
it
in
was
front
just
of
that
it.
one moment when he was stopping to get the gum off the bottom of his shoe.
Maybe
It was
but that
hard
was
to
a
tell.
no,
but it
no,
was
not when he was
distracting.
getting that off
It was
the.
distracting.
And who knows they've got a gum at the bottom of their shoe.
No,
like
you
that.
feel it. You feel it when you're walking and you feel something sticky on the bottom of your shoe. You're like, darn, I stepped in gum. I felt it. Working at Walmart, I have felt when I step in gum. I'm
okay.
like, man, I have stepped in gum and I can feel it and it's bugging the crap out of me.
You wear different shoes though.
Yeah, but I think you could tell. I mean, aside from boots, and that guy was wearing tennis shoes.
Okay,
He would have felt it.
So maybe that's acceptable, and that gives you the scene of who the hell is that?
As he
With
takes
the-
the
a penny,
the penny with Abe Lincoln to scrape him off.
Come off the shoe. All right. So then, what you guys think of the facial expressions?
Cardboard.
Yeah, I thought it was
I think
bad.
Woody Allen
but
might have the most facial expressions, and General
Yeah.
Mandible and Christopher Walken. But after that, they all just look like cardboard.
Yeah, I wasn't
They
sure if it
gave
was
up.
just.
They covered the most important people, and then they just gave up on everyone else.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were doing that on purpose, but
I think
don't
they
know,
would
just
have.
overall, it's
It's
just
like
bad.
ants, they're not going to have that many faces.
So, what do you guys think of the backgrounds and the environments?
Again, in the colony, I think they look okay. But once they
is when you get the
leave-
most expressive because you get like all the little constructs that the ants have.
Yeah, it
but
was
when
like a
you're out
city
in the
down there.
surface, it's
all just bland,
bland.
desert. And I know it's supposed to be the ants' perspective, which is supposed to take this little dirt heap and turn it into just miles. But I could have sworn at the point where they're marching to go and kill the termites, they're walking through grass. But then
Yeah.
when Z escapes with the princess, it's all desert. It's like, well, what happened here?
I don't.
It's like you
know.
guys, like, what is this,
Which-
the backyard? Your backyard's all desert?
I guess if you're thinking of it in the mindset of an ant, like picturing it as how small they are, it's like, okay, there's a patch where there's no grass that's growing, that's going to be desert to ants. And then you're going to have grass in this area and maybe like more grass in another area. So I guess they were just trying to do that in that aspect. But oddly enough, I thought the background and environments were the most interesting part of the movie, which is saying something for how bad of a movie this was. So the visual storytelling, did you guys think the visuals communicate emotion / story without dialogue?
Yeah, it does. Because as you're in the colony, you see all those signs that are encouraging work, always work, keep on working, working is good. So it keeps up with that idea.
Okay. Were there any only animation could do this moments?
I'm trying to think, because
All of
what on
it?
earth would live action do? I mean,
I don't know what live action would do.
See, I
no,
feel
live
like
action
live
couldn't.
action could. There's
You wouldn't
just,
be able to call it live action, though.
There's one.
It would all be
scene that I'm
animated, so it'd be
thinking
like
that
Lion
only
King.
animation could do. There's one scene in this movie that I'm thinking of. Can you guys guess it?
What, is it the
ant
wrecking
ball?
ball?
No, I feel like even live action could do the wrecking ball. The magnifying glass and the beam of death fire.
It would
right
be
down.
interesting if live action they could actually keep the humans out of shot every time. But the thing is that like to live action this movie, they would just be animating it with a super real
That is
life
the thing, yeah.
appearance. And that would be creepy with the ants.
It
'cause
would be.
they wouldn't be standing up. They would literally just be ants and they would be talking and it would be really distracting because you'd just see their horrified faces and these close-ups and there'd be no emotion. There'd just be these creepy
Yeah,
looking
so you would
things.
actually lose a lot if this was translated to
This
live
would not
action.
work as live action.
No, it would.
The
Almost
lion-
becomes a horror movie.
Yeah, Lion King would look far more emotionally depth than these ants. And
If
that
they
movie
actually
was
cared to make
soulless.
that movie.
So we agreed that the voice casting was weird.
Some of them really landed. Sylvester Stallone didn't. I think he was my one issue, and I really wish Patrick Warburton was in there. You know, like take AI, boost the visuals, and then cut out Sylvester Stallone and just put in Patrick Warburton. This movie might actually be pretty good.
Probably. I think that is it.
So that-
But what about I mean, do we recommend this movie?
We
Not
covered
really.
that.
We did.
Pretty sure.
Well, we suggested
I didn't think
who
so.
would want to watch
Yeah,
it,
there was a
which kinda
difference
still
between
feels like a
who should
recommend.
watch this, but I don't consider it as a recommendation. It's like, oh well, I mean, younger kids could watch this, or maybe, well, I guess,
with parental
should,
advisory.
Yeah. but then the recommendation test is like, no, I wouldn't recommend this movie. I'd recommend Bug's Life. So then that brings us into where do we put this movie in our tier list?
Yes, where do you rank it?
I specifically created a new tier, D tier, and put this movie into the D tier. This movie I never want to watch again.
Nick?
I'm
where do
okay
you-
if I watch like clips of it, like, yeah, bring in the magnifying glass, clips of the cuss words, the Christopher Walken scenes, but I'm not rewatching this whole movie again without doing something else to occupy my mind.
I did put it in D tier, though I put it like high in D tier, like under Thumbelina. Because the story does kind of like make it.
Do you mean above
In-
Thumbelina
no,
or
below.
still? Okay,
Below
so
Thumbelina.
Thumbelina's still better.
Because, I mean, like between the two, I think Thumbelina is a little more easier to watch another time.
Yeah. Like we could
like to
rewatch
rewatch.
Thumbelina.
We're not
Antz,
going to
we could
rewatch
not.
it anytime soon, but
Watch me.
you
I'm
can
go- I'm
rewatch it.
I'm going to say that one episode we have to redo the Thumbelina review episode, obviously. So we have to rewatch Thumbelina again, right?
We still have the papers. for
No, you
our
guys
notes,
don't.
So
You guys start this way. Oh wait, no, you guys have a notebook. Never mind.
Yeah, I ranked this in C tier.
Wow.
I put it at the bottom though.
Oh.
It's below Anastasia. I put it above D tier because I'm like the Great Migration and the Mystery Monster movie. You know, the sequels from Land Before Time, and
Yeah.
those just were much worse than this movie in my opinion. So I'm like, this gets C tier. I'd still prefer Anastasia, Thumbelina, The Mysterious Island, and Five Goes West. Like,
Yeah.
I'd prefer all those to Antz, but it was fine.
Yeah, for me, I'm thinking like I've got a majority of the Don Bluth films, if not all of them, are in C tier. So, and this movie, Antz, does not rank above any of those. Like, I'm willing and okay with rewatching like Land Before Time, All Dogs Go to Heaven, which I think I put that in my B tier. But like, I'm okay with rewatching Anastasia over Antz. So,
That does conclude this review.
yep.
Thank you all for listening to the Baker Boys. Come back next time to hear another DreamWorks film.
Boom, hurrah, hurrah. Ants
go
come marching through it, through, hurrah, hurrah.
hurrah.